Good morning. So I'm scrolling through Facebook and just have an open mind, open heart as I'm seeing all these perspectives of truth and love out there. And it's pretty neat, to be honest, the algorithm, how it knows, for the most part, what your target market is, or the videos that you're posting. It builds an audience off the same material and criteria. And I thought, like, I had this revelation, that I was going to do what I'm doing. I was going to try to put the word out there, spread truth and love of spiritual transcendence that I'm going through, like my God consciousness, my Christ consciousness, this amazing revelation that I had come to me in a dream that was so demanding for me to just get up really quick and write everything down, telling me, hey, Doug, you need to go walk into the wilderness and document everything, share it, break free of your chains. And there's lots of things going on in my life, that kind of tie into what led me into active alcohol addiction, or other things, just depending. But I was a yes man, so to speak, when it came to anything to change the destruction that was going on in my mind. I have a chaotic mind and constantly battling demons, whether it be in my past or now my fear of the future for me. And I got stuck. I was working, did really well early in my age. I didn't finish college, but that didn't stop me from promoting quickly with a big retail corporation. And next thing I know, I'm actually a store manager for a Fortune 500 company, which is that's a pretty big deal, making a decent salary and having a pretty good reputation. And suddenly, at some point, there wasn't an equal balance of me coming home from work and not being stressed out. And my choice of medication has always been alcohol or booze. And so I would self-medicate every night. And at some point that, I tipped the scale where my addiction to alcohol was keeping me up too late. Well, it's keeping me hanging around bars when I shouldn't be. I got to wake up at 5 a.m. and get to work, and I'm closing down bars at 2 a.m. And at some point that catches up to you. When you're doing that in your 20s and stuff, it's no big deal. But at some point, you can't wake up anymore and feel, you can't be your best. You just can't. So I am on this spiritual transcendence, for most people that's been following or whatnot. I tried to kill myself last fall. It was last November, so we're coming up on a year already. And it was just because I was unsatisfied with my life now and unsatisfied with the way I saw any potential for a future that I deemed as, like societal's expectations for success. Like that I would have some kind of financial plan to retire, some kind of financial security where I could still live cool and be free, if that makes sense. And I just didn't see a way to do that. I was bouncing around jobs and finally got to a point where the money wasn't enough for me to tolerate it. It wasn't enough for me to sustain, or I just knew that I couldn't be happy and do what I was doing. And now I'm 42 years old and I have no resume of like being able to do other things. And I'm like, what am I going to do? I've always wanted to be a writer, so I'm taking the opportunity, staying with family. And I don't know, so I know people are going to judge me for this right now, but I'm not currently working a corporate job anymore. I gave up on capitalism, so to speak, and I'm all for free enterprise. I'm all for the pursuit of happiness, but that's the issue, is that as soon as you see that there's no happiness there, that's the fucking point. So I decided to try to pursue my dreams, and I've always wanted to be a writer. My dad died in 2020, and I wanted to tell his story because I think there's a lot of misconceptions of his truth still lingering in the world because of some interjections that he had with family and friends. And I think that he felt like he let a lot of people down, and I felt like that was the path that I was on too. And I want to prove that not only did my dad not let people down, he showed us the way. I'm going to finish walking his path. And that's where the dream came in. I woke up in the middle of a night and I was like, holy shit, I gotta write all this stuff down. And I'm gonna pack a wagon and I'm just gonna pull it across the country, and I'm gonna try to raise awareness for suicide, for mental health in general. I suffer from, I'm undiagnosed borderline personality disorder, but basically I'm a manic depressant, and I also have anxiety really bad. So now that I'm not self-medicating, I have all this time in the world to fulfill my dreams. So I'm trying to become a writer, and I'm going to be a video blog creator, and hopefully find enough like-minded folks that when it's time to head to Arizona, Williams, Arizona, and begin our walk, we're going to grab that rock, write down our burden, and once we're ready to release it, throw it in that lake, and we're going to be on our way and start walking across the country. I'm hoping to walk Old Route 66 as much as possible, and we're going to begin that journey May 1st. So it's neat to scroll through and see a lot of people already on this journey, some kind of a spiritual transcendence. And however you feel about any of it, open your minds, open your hearts, because there is something bigger going on. And it's no coincidence that there's multiple people streaming this content from an individual experience that's creating a collective consciousness of truth and love. And people are finally, it's just like, and not to make anything political, but with this big grand scheme of things, this global reset, this new world order thing that whether you want to admit it or not is happening. The best thing that we can do as a society is have this spiritual awakening to fight it, and it's happening. And it's crazy that it's like what is it? Light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. When you have a collective consciousness, in that situation with the witchcraft stuff, it's only 4 people, and you could lift a body off the ground. I'm sure you guys have seen that before. Think about it if we had 7.9 billion people that were finally just like, fuck you, fuck this, there's something better than what I'm doing. I am going to figure out what it means to be alive, what it means to seek God, truth, love, to have faith in something, have faith in a higher power of consciousness, right? So there's a way for all of us to agree, and we have to figure that out instead of allowing all this division to divide us. So anyways, just wanted to share that piece this morning, and I hope you're all doing well. Be in touch.